Hey Stampers, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. This is a stamp set maybe you haven't seen in a while. You forgot you had it. You forgot we had it. This is a really fun card idea. I got this idea from someone. They used a completely different paper, and I will go back and put a link to give credit to the person who did the layout. It's probably not an original design, but still pretty cool. Would like to share that. I cannot really think of the paper that they used off the top of my head. I feel like it was something Christmassy, but it's really cute. You could use this for any occasion. So this uses the Adventurous Sky DSP in the background. It's a little bit smaller than a normal card. Instead of being 8.5, you actually trim a little bit off. And we use the Adventurous Sky DSP for this card as well. This also uses a couple things. So birthday wishes, or sorry, Simply Said has birthday wishes. Adventurous Sky, I use the cloud for the background. And then there's a couple different things. So I also used a 2 3/8 inch circle punch for that foil layer back there. I used these, what are these called? Spotlight on Nature dies for what I call the plate that's in basic gray. And then I used something new. These are called the All Around It dies, and they're kind of wonky. As you can see, they're like not straight circles. These are actually available in the new spring mini catalog. So if you haven't seen that yet, hop over to my blog. There's a link there, or you can shop directly if you click the link below in the video description, which is Rachthestamper.stampinup.net. I don't even know if that works anymore. I said it so long. That's probably why I think that way. So these are the circles that we're going to be using. And then we have some basic gray is this. We have silver foil here. This is just white. And I'll show you what we're going to do. So we're going to, let me bring these over because we're going to need those. I'll move the rest of this out of the way. We will need the birthday wishes. I'm just going to put that on. It's a pretty fun card because you really could use it for anyone, man, woman, boy, girl, anybody. And also, if you're looking to use up some of your DSP, this is a great card layout. So the card base, I'm going to check my notes here. The card base is 5.5 by 7.5. So still 5.5, but it's only 7.5. You just scored at 4 1/4. And then we have some pieces of DSP on the front here. You can do an extra layer if you wanted to. It really just depends on what you want to do. Let me get this out. And we also need the large clouds. So again, you could add anything you wanted to this. It's pretty easy card to create. Let's see, I have so both of my stamps, and then we just need a little bit more here. So our cardstock is already scored in half. Is this right? Because this looks like it's a little, yeah. I don't think I cut this one correctly. Look at that. Like the little 7.5. I think I scored it wrong. I didn't score it 4 1/4. So you know what? I'm going to just rescore it because it's my card. I'll give it to somebody. I'm sure they will love to have it. But I scored it wrong. Yeah, look how wrong I scored that. Definitely way wrong. So let's see. If we're going this way like that, it really should have been over more. So we'll go like that. We'll just... When we put our background paper in, it'll help to hold that flat. But instead of making you wait for me to score something, we'll just do it that way. All right, so I'm going to just flatten this out. And I'm just going to flatten on my score line. Okay, so our card DSP layers. This one, I just used a different one because I was running out. This is 3 1/4. Boy, I really goobered this one up, didn't I? Yep, I did, because it's too long. Well, as we're going, we're going to just pretend like we're making this along, because I don't know what I was thinking, but 3 1/4. Yep, that's got to be 3, or else it's not going to fit. There you go. That's better. All right, so let me check what my notes are here, because I have that written correctly. So the inside DSP is going to be 1 1/4. Let's see if I measured that right. Yep, I did 1 1/4 by 5.5. So that's going to go here. And that goes all the way top to bottom, which at first I was kind of wondering. I was like, that might not look so great. And then this piece is supposed to allegedly measure 3 by 5 1/4. That is correct. This will lay over just slightly. So 3 by 5 1/4 for the white. The front DSP, it says, is 3 1/4, but that would make it line up exactly right, and we don't want that. So I did trim this down to 3. Yeah, so this is 3 by 5 1/4. I always bring in these little extra strips because I just have them. So I might actually put this down on the inside, and then I just had a little extra piece. I don't know what that's even doing there. And then we need our extra pieces here. Now these are going to be for our die cuts. We're going to need, you can see the wonky die cut there. We're going to also need a basic gray dinner plate die cut. So we're going to stamp these, and then we will move back to assembling the card. And sometimes in instance like this, I feel like, should I start over? But also, nah. Because, you know, maybe you guys think that everything always goes the way it's supposed to. It doesn't. I can assure you. I have made many mistakes, thrown many pieces of paper away because I botched something up. So I'm just going to stamp that. This is Night of Navy onto thick white, which is pretty much the only white I use these days. So that was Night of Navy. It's very dark because I just re-inked it. And then I'm going to actually do Misty Moonlight. But for this, what I'm going to do, let's see if I can find a little scrap. I'm actually going to stamp this off because I didn't want it to overtake the birthday wishes. So I'm just going to stamp it. And I probably should do this up here so I don't get it everywhere. And I'm going to do that one more time. That way, wherever we end up die cutting it, there's some of that in there. And that, again, was Misty Moonlight. And then I do also have out Basic Gray because for the die cut, what I ended up doing is I usually just roll it in the ink. So I'm going to run these two through. And put those on my platform here. Like so. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to run these through the die cutting machine. I do also have another 3D box that should be posting at the same time as this. So if you happen to not be able to find that, just go back to my main page on YouTube and you should be able to find all the stuff. So there's those two pieces. And then for the third one, move this out of the way. The third one, I actually am going to just use a punch, and this is the 2 3/8 circle punch. This is available still in the online store. You can see my foil is a little bit botched, probably because I die cut it. And actually, this is a very good point to know. If you are ever die cutting on foil, and you can see how this is a very well-loved plate, it actually will put all these etchings through when you cut. So to avoid that, you can either have a plate that you save just for foil, so maybe you have an extra plate or a new one, or you can also put just a piece of printer paper, loose leaf. So you would put this down, put your die, put the loose leaf, and then this. It's so thin that it won't impede it moving through, but it just kind of helps you from getting all those little nicks and crannies and dents and divots on your paper. But again, since this is going underneath of something, you're not really going to notice anyway. So before, what did I do? I'm looking here. I think I lined both of these with gray. So I'm just going to take my basic gray and just roll this in. I don't know. Maybe it's not noticeable to most people, but I think it looks cool. And I'm going to do the same with the white. And I think I actually did that before I even added that extra layer. So we're going to do this one will lay flat, but this one you kind of have to decide where you want it to go because it's a little unusually shaped since it's not a perfect circle like everything else. So just put a little bit of liquid glue here. And actually, now that I think of it, I did put this up 1 dimensional, so we'll just put 2 dimensionals. The good part about this is, actually I'm going to put 3. Since we're putting this on the front, if you kind of want to roll it a little bit, you could. But you want to make sure that you keep in mind that, say if you put this here, just to rotate it so you have it straight. So I kind of liked it so you could see a little bit of the foil, but it wasn't completely blocking it. So that feels like it's going. I'm just going to... That looks good. So you're not going to see a ton of the foil, but it kind of is. It's there. So you can see you can line it up straight. So make sure you put it on straight. All right, so back to this debacle that I started earlier. Before we get too far ahead, I'm actually going to put this on. I probably need to trim this because it's a little bit long. This is just a scrap from when I was trimming up the DSP for all of these cards. So, oops. Go a little bit farther. There. Okay, so it's to the edge. Oh, actually it did fit. Look at that. Nice. Okay, so then, again, we do have this little line, but it's fine. I'm not worried about it. People aren't going to really see a line in the back, most likely. Honestly, they probably wouldn't care or notice anyway, unless they come back and check out this video, which I highly doubt. So I'm just, again, whoops. We're going to glue, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm just lining this up to the edge. So we have corner to corner coverage, so you can see, nice and covered. And then this piece is going to be the part that kind of holds it sturdy. And if it goes over a little bit, that's fine. But I like adding sometimes just the little strips of DSP because really, honestly, you're probably going to throw it away anyway. So if you add it, at least you're using almost all of your DSP. And it kind of gives just like a little bit more of a finished look. So if you wanted to, if this does bother you, you can always put the white down and then put the blue on top of it, which might have been, no, it was trimmed up just a smidgy. Man, I don't know what, I'm gonna have to go back and check my measurements for this because now that I think about it, maybe I either did not copy something correctly or something, because this is askew. That's what you get when you're cutting cardstock. I guess half watching sports games, right? Okay, so this doesn't really matter which way you put it. You can put it either direction, but if you have something directional, make sure you're careful. So this is going to fit right on there. Definitely make sure you use a good amount of adhesive. I know I am one that is sometimes doing the under adhesing because I feel like sometimes I get a little too goopy with it, but I hate to think that any of my cards have ever fallen apart or layers have fallen off. That would really make me sad. So make sure you're cautious with that as well. And then instead of putting this up, I'm just going to glue this down. So we're going to just put this here and we're going to glue it straight down. And we have a good amount that we can glue, so I don't really have to worry about it falling off. But just remember, you don't want to glue the whole thing or you'll glue your card shut. And just going to make sure that looks... And you don't want your circle to hang over or else it won't fit in your envelope. Or it will, but your envelope won't close. Maybe that's a better way to say it. And there it is. So you could use many of the DSPs for this just in this one grouping alone. I do like this one better just because it's a little more of the blue tonal and tonal and tone. But since I was at the end, I kind of went with a different paper. But you could also do this even with the sides of this paper that have the copper clay layers to it, which would be really pretty, and then just put it on a base of copper instead. I think that would be super nice. Again, I think this is a great card. You could use this for really anybody, but I know a lot of times people really do struggle to create a masculine card. So this is I think a nice easy one that you could definitely bang out a lot of them, especially if you had a fresh pack of paper. You can make yourself a ton and you would have plenty to go. So I want to thank you so much for watching today. I am going to go back and double check the measurements that I have listed on this. And now that I look at it, it's like, is this the same? It is. I must have been having a minute because this DSP to me looks thinner than this DSP. So I guess that's what's throwing me off. But I will check the measurements again before I post everything onto my blog. If you would like to get any of the supplies to make these cards, plus we have our brand new spring catalog out. And we are right now at the very beginning of celebration. For every $60 that you purchase, you get to earn one thing for free. $120 gets two, and so on. We also have a great join promotion right now. If you join as a demonstrator, it is $99. You get to choose either two of 4 sets of marker packs and a stamp set, or you can buy $135 of anything for $99 instead if you already have a lot of marker packs. But it's a really great deal. Free shipping, which is also always a nice bonus. You do get some catalogs, you'll get a paper pumpkin kit, but lots of great stuff there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the little bit of an awkward start, but thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, I would love for you to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Just give a thumbs up to this. You can leave a comment below if you have a friend you think would love to learn to make this layout of the card correctly, not with me making it in the blonde version. Have them follow along as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day.